Quiet bunch tonight.
Hi, Zavi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Happy holidays.
Hello.
Savi, if you get that disc behind your head lined up just right, it's there you
It's a
go.
glow.
Work on that.
I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but it looks good anyway.
I will always take the symbolism.
Hey, right there. Here we go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Thanks for the tip.
It's got the, I guess there must be a ceiling fan going too, so you get the, yeah, that's good.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Councilor Royal, how are you, sir?
Hey, Jamie.
Living the dream. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you, my brother.
Did you get your run in today?
I did. I just got back from the track now, so.
It's breezy and cold.
I went out this morning and it was, yeah, I was not ready for the wind.
it's a little brutal. Patrick, I'm trying to get my beard like yours so I can keep warm in the winter.
You need another 20 years, I think, to get the coloring right.
Actually, just look at Pete.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
Just
it
wait
does
a
help.
couple months until you have a kid.
That'll start to turn early.
That is true, Pete. You're right.
President Smith Waddell is having some minor technical difficulties, but he will be right on, just as a heads up for everybody.
I just had a message too from Counselor Diaz that she's having technical difficulties. So I'm gonna see if I can help her on.
Yesterday, we went out and we're distributing smoke detectors along Beaver Street following the fatal house fire there on Saturday morning, which is very, very tragic. And tomorrow morning, we'll be doing a food distribution at Station 3, beginning at 8:30 a.m. for anybody who's interested, along with police and fire and Office of Neighborhood Engagement. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to let you know about. Nothing else that's good news. The bad news you can read in the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of good news. Patrick Hopkins, LSC sold some properties, so we're getting some unanticipated income, which is good. Not quite $300,000, so we'll take it.
If they could just keep doing corporate sales every 3 to 4 years, that would be great.
Yeah,
It
but
works out.
it really is not the way to do a budget, is like hope and a prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. So the two properties were the old Donnelly facilities or previous Donnelly facilities on Harrisburg Pike and Greenfield Road. LSC went through some sort of corporate buyout, and so the properties technically were sold. I think it closed on December 21st, so it'll be 2020 revenue. But the property transfer taxes from those is about $288,000. So a little extra piece of deficit reduction right before the end of the year.
Anything is always welcome, Patrick. We know that.
Yes, it is.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, my apologies for my tardiness. But given that it is 6:07, again, my apologies. I'm going to go ahead and get us rocking and rolling. So I hereby call to order this special meeting of the Council of the City of Lancaster. Oops, Mr. Harris is on a very important phone call. No, you're fine. That may have come off sarcastic, but I assume any phone call you take is actually very important. So, all right. With that, Mr. Harris, would you please call the roll of members?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Royo,
Here.
Ms. Beke,
Here.
Ms. Gregg,
Here.
Ms. Diaz,
Here.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Here.
Mr. Soto,
Here.
and President Smith Waddell.
Here. Thank you, Mr. Harris. We'll move then directly into our legislative agenda. We begin with ordinances for final passage, Bill number 16, 2020. Mr. Harris.
Yes, Mr. President. An ordinance of the Council of the City of Lancaster, County of Lancaster, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, appropriating the specific sums estimated to be required for the specific purposes of the city government hereinafter set forth during the year 2021, allowing for a severance provision, providing for the repeal of inconsistent ordinances, and providing for an effective date. The title, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Okay, Councilor Beke.
Thank you. I don't really have anything additional from my perspective to add. We've had our budget hearing. We've had a great overview of the budget provided by Mr. Hopkins. So I will allow him or the mayor to add anything additional that we need to know or talk about at this time.
No, just to recap the discussion that we were having just previously, that we have had some additional deficit reduction with the sale of the LSC, the former Donnelly properties, right at the end of the year, which is a nice help as we roll into 2021. We'll continue to be updating council as the steps that we're going to be taking to continue to address our deficit in the 2021 budget. and appreciate all of you for hanging in on what has been a very difficult budget season and budget year.
Director Hopkins?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Other council comments? All right. Hearing none, any comments from the public? Questions from the public? Going once, going twice. Hearing none. Mr. Harris?
Mr. Roya,
Aye.
Ms. Beke,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith Waddell.
Aye. All right. And with that, we have a budget. And of course, alongside that, we have Bill number 17, 2020. Mr. Harris.
An ordinance amending the code of the city of Lancaster, Chapter 270, Taxation, Article 4, Property and Residence Tax, Section 270-26, Levying Rate, by fixing the tax rate of 11.70 mils on property in the city of Lancaster for general revenue purposes, allowing for a severance provision, providing for the repeal of inconsistent ordinances, and providing for an effective date. The title, Mr. President.
Okay. I'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Mayor, Director Hopkins.
Just one quick clarification. I heard Mr. Harris, when he read that, say 11.07 mils. It's 11.7 mils. Just so that's.
I believe he said 7-0, but we'll record 7-0 in the record.
Just want to make sure.
Yep. Anything that we need to know? Is that any different than last year, for example?
No, it is the same millage rate as actually the last 2 years. So this is third year at the same millage rate of 11.7.
Yep. As we understand, and I'll just say for the assembled public, or perhaps for the media, this one goes out to you, Chris. That keeping the millage rate the same over a 3-year period as costs continue to rise, and as in this year revenue craters, is no easy task. It's no mean trick. So thank you, of course, to Mr. Hopkins and his team, and of course to you, Councilor Beke, for your work as chair of the Finance Committee. And I do want to shout out Councilor Garcia Molina for asking virtually every important question and taking that burden off of the rest of us. But
I'm here for it.
No, seriously, this has been a challenging budget year, as will next year. So do want to thank y'all and your team for the work that you've done to make that happen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Other council comments? From the public? This is your last chance to get a shot in on us before 2021. So now's the time. All right. Missed opportunity. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Roya,
Aye.
Ms. Beke,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith Waddell.
Aye. We don't have an agenda item for this, but since it's my meeting and my prerogative, and this is the last council meeting of the year, I will take a moment just to say this for all of the no one that's watching, but maybe for posterity. This is probably one of the more difficult years that the city of Lancaster has had in our collective memory. We've had a pandemic, multiple crucial rezonings, high-profile law enforcement incidents, protests and the reactions thereof that seem to have taken the entire middle portion of the year. This has not been, by any stretch of the imagination, an easy year for anyone on this call, anyone watching this call, or I'd imagine almost anyone in the city of Lancaster. So if you have made it through this year, I want to take a moment to say that I appreciate you for sticking in, and I look forward to what we're going to be able to do together in 2021. So thank you very much. And thank you in particular to all of my esteemed colleagues on council, in the city of Lancaster, especially the on-the-ground employees who we don't get on Zoom calls and who frankly do not get enough credit. So thank you. And thank you, Mayor, for your leadership. With that, I will hear for the last time in this godforsaken year, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. I will see y'all in 2021.
Thank you, everybody.
Happy New Year,
All right,
everyone.
thank you. Happy New Year.
Here.
Here's to next year.